For those of you guys who are newer to the channel, if you ever introduce yourself as a new subscriber, you may have received a reply from me some nights ago, meaning weeks ago, of how I do things around the channel. I tried to welcome you and I was like, hey, I hope you stay, but if you don't, I understand. I'm not really good for everybody. And I remember vividly telling like 2 or 3 people that don't be afraid of posting whatever you want to post, whether it be something positive or something negative. Unless you're actively being a bully, I don't block people. And as an example of expressing yourself and you leaving a comment and you not knowing how it affects somebody, I put on Twitter this morning that I had been awake for 5 hours and I still hadn't gotten up from bed. Actually, 5 hours prior, I had gotten up to feed Dusty because otherwise he would start, understandably, meowing and yowling and stuff, and I just could not afford to have the overstimulation coming from sound. And anyway, I tweeted that out and I had no idea that I would get a reply. And the reply was in the form of somebody sending me a song by a band called Sublime, which they're not part of my personal music collection, but I recognize those sounds. Those are like so 90s, retro. It's like early 2000s at the very latest kind of vibe. It's like the kind of music they play for beach music and stuff. And in addition, the song that I was sent happened to have the title Burrito. And one of the lines in it was something about not wanting to take the dog out for a walk, not wanting to clean after the dog or something, and just spending all day in bed. And then I replied to this person, his name is John. And I said, hey, so the problem with me is that this has been happening for many years now. And I loved the guitar sound and I loved all of that. But just so you know, I had a thought prior to you posting anything. And to myself, I was saying that I look at that as a divine message because I was thinking about what to eat. And I thought, I'm craving either a burrito or nachos. And then that song being called Burritos sold it to me. And then here it is. And that's what I mean, you guys, by even though you're online, some of you may actually be sent to, and I'm gonna get a little religious, so if you don't like this, don't take it too seriously, but at least hear me out. I see you were used as one of God's messengers to help me get through this difficult time. I hadn't eaten anything since 2 p.m. Eastern time yesterday. And right now it's 12:21. So it's about to be a day since I had any legit real food in me. The last thing I ingested was like a Starbucks chocolate, hot chocolate at around, it was closer to 8, something like that. So that little comment helped give me the energy that I needed to get up and take care of my food at least. And while I was at it, I also felt inspired to get my little Starbucks drink to accompany it. So basically the point of this is to once again reinforce why I say what I say about, you know, we're a bunch of strangers, but whether you're being negatively critical, whether you're flaming somebody or whatever it is, the reason I always say I'm impossible to offend is because even when I get the mean comments, I look at it as I need to learn to train myself to where this shit doesn't bother me, because I work customer service, and at customer service people are inherently stupid, and that hasn't stopped me for 10 years. So why would I let the internet written words, faces and voices that I don't hear get to me? But At the same time, there are the more neutral messages, which are sharing, what you have in common, what may be different for you. And then I have the ones that, if you allow them to, can be positive, such as this one. That was a very simple, basic comment, but this person had no idea that it helped. It helped confirm for me to get the food that I was thinking about, and it got me going. That's what this is about. So I always try to convey to people that there is inspiration everywhere. Sometimes you have to exit out of yourself, out of your comfort zone. And that's where my religious beliefs kick in. And I'm sorry that religious beliefs are not like a book. It's not like you can take out a book about math and start training yourself how to add, subtract, divide, multiply, and level it up from there, because you can actually put to practice what you read there. Just because the events of the Bible doesn't match with modern days doesn't mean that you cannot at least look at it from a poetic, side and find inspiration from it to straighten your life out a little bit. That's what it's about. Don't take it literal. Just find the way that ancient text, whether it was modified many times, how can it still be relevant to modern days? Because a lot of what we are hasn't changed from those times. So just open your mind. Before I go, so John, once again, thanks for leaving your message, your tweet, because I legit expected for it to go pretty much like everything I put on Twitter to go unanswered, but there you go. And yeah, at least it just helped me. My brain still feels cloudy and like a fog, but anyway, I'll get over this.